Listen closely, because what I'm about to share with you could completely transform everything. You thought you knew about power, success, and the life you're capable of living. There's a force inside you right now, at this very moment, that's more powerful than any obstacle, any challenge, any limitation you've ever faced. And the tragedy is, most people go their entire lives never discovering it, never tapping into it, never realizing that everything they've been searching for has been within them all along. But you're about to discover the truth, the profound, life-altering truth, that within you is the power. Henry Thomas Hamblin's masterpiece isn't just a book, it's a revelation, a spiritual awakening, a roadmap to the unlimited potential that lies dormant within your soul. Written over a century ago, its wisdom remains as fresh, as relevant, as transformative today as it was when it first touched the hearts of seekers worldwide. This isn't about positive thinking alone, it's about understanding the fundamental laws of the universe, the creative power of your mind, and the divine spark that makes you capable of achieving absolutely anything you set your heart upon. The central premise that Hamblin presents is both simple and profound. You already possess within yourself every single quality, every talent, every capability you need to create the life you desire. You don't need to seek power outside yourself. You don't need to wait for circumstances to change. You don't need anyone's permission or approval. The power is already there, waiting for you to recognize it, claim it, and use it. This power isn't something mystical or unattainable. It's as natural as breathing, as fundamental as your heartbeat, and it's your birthright as a human being. Think about that for a moment. Really let it sink in. Everything you've been struggling for, everything you've been working toward, everything you've been hoping would somehow materialize in your life, the power to manifest all of it is already within you. Not somewhere out there in the future, not dependent on other people, not waiting for the perfect circumstances, but right here, right now, within you. This realization alone is enough to shift your entire perspective on what's possible in your life. Hamblin begins by addressing the fundamental error that most people make. They look outside themselves for the source of their happiness, their success, their fulfillment. They believe that if only they had more money, they'd be happy. If only they had a better job, they'd feel fulfilled. If only they had a different partner, they'd experience love. If only circumstances were different, their lives would be better. But this external focus is precisely what keeps people trapped in cycles of dissatisfaction and limitation. Because you see, the external world is simply a reflection, a mirror of your internal state. Your outer circumstances are manifestations of your inner consciousness, your beliefs, your thoughts, your dominant mental attitudes. This isn't just philosophical speculation, it's a practical, observable truth. When you change your inner world, your outer world must inevitably change to match it. This is a law, as reliable as gravity, as dependable as the sunrise. Your thoughts are creative forces. They shape your reality. They mold your experiences. They determine the quality and nature of your life. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every mental picture you create is sending out energy into the universe, attracting corresponding circumstances and experiences back to you. The power within you is fundamentally a mental and spiritual power. It operates through your consciousness, through your ability to think, to imagine, to believe, to focus your attention. Your mind is the creative workshop where your entire life is designed and built. Before anything can manifest in your physical reality, it must first exist in your mental reality. The house you live in existed first as a thought in an architect's mind. The device you're using to read or listen to this existed first as an idea in an inventor's consciousness. Everything in the visible world has its origin in the invisible world of thought. And here's what's truly remarkable. You have the power to choose your thoughts. You're not a victim of random mental activity, you're the master of your own consciousness. You can deliberately select which thoughts to entertain and which to dismiss. You can consciously create mental images of the life you desire. You can intentionally cultivate beliefs that support your goals and dreams. This power of conscious choice is one of the most profound gifts you possess, and it's the key to transforming your entire life experience. Hamblin emphasizes that this inner power is not something you need to create or develop from scratch. It's something you need to uncover, to recognize, to allow to express itself. It's like the sun behind the clouds. The sun is always shining, always radiating its light and warmth, but sometimes clouds obscure it from our view. The clouds don't diminish the sun's power, they simply hide it temporarily. In the same way, your inner power is always present, always available, but it may be obscured by clouds of doubt, fear, limiting beliefs, negative thinking, and false perceptions about yourself and life. The journey to accessing your inner power, then, is largely a journey of removal rather than addition. It's about clearing away the mental and emotional obstacles that prevent your natural power from flowing freely. It's about dissolving the false beliefs that tell you you're weak, limited, incapable, or unworthy. It's about releasing the fears that keep you playing small and safe. It's about letting go of the past hurts and disappointments that convince you to protect yourself rather than express yourself fully. One of the most powerful concepts Hamblin introduces is the idea that you are a spiritual being living in a spiritual universe governed by spiritual laws. This isn't religious dogma, it's a recognition of the fundamental nature of reality. Behind the physical world you perceive with your senses, there exists a deeper dimension, a creative intelligence, a universal mind, an infinite source of power and wisdom. And you're not separate from this source, you're an expression of it, a channel through which it flows, a focal point through which it manifests in the physical world. This understanding changes everything. It means you're never alone, never truly without resources, never cut off from the infinite wellspring of life itself. No matter how dire your circumstances may appear, no matter how limited your physical resources may be, you're always connected to an unlimited source of supply, creativity, and possibility. Your job isn't to create this power or connection. Your job is simply to recognize it, align with it, and allow it to work through you. The practical application of this principle begins with your daily thoughts and mental habits. Hamblin instructs us to become vigilant observers of our own consciousness, to notice what we're thinking, to become aware of the mental patterns we habitually run. Most people are completely unconscious of their thought processes. Their minds run on autopilot, replaying old patterns, rehashing past problems, worrying about future scenarios, judging themselves and others, and generally creating a chaotic internal environment that produces chaotic external results. But when you become conscious, when you start paying attention to your mental activity, you gain the power to intervene, to redirect, to choose differently. You can catch yourself in the middle of a negative thought spiral and deliberately shift to a more positive focus. You can notice when you're dwelling on limitations and consciously redirect your attention to possibilities. You can observe when fear is driving your thinking and choose to think from a place of faith and confidence instead. This practice of conscious thinking is the foundation of all lasting change and achievement. It's not about forcing yourself to think positively when you don't believe. That's just surface-level affirmation without real power behind it. It's about genuinely shifting your perspective, genuinely choosing to see things differently, genuinely aligning your thoughts with the truth of your inner power rather than the illusion of your limitations. Hamblin teaches that one of the most destructive thought patterns is the habit of focusing on what you don't want, rather than what you do want. So many people spend their mental energy worrying about failure, imagining worst-case scenarios, dwelling on problems, and reinforcing everything they wish to avoid. And because your thoughts are creative, because your mental focus attracts corresponding experiences, this habit of negative focus actually creates more of what you're trying to avoid. The shift you need to make is simple, but profound. You must train yourself to focus on what you desire, not what you fear. You must cultivate the habit of thinking about solutions, not problems. You must spend your mental energy imagining success, not failure. You must keep your attention on possibilities, not limitations. This doesn't mean denying problems or pretending challenges don't exist. It means choosing where to place your primary focus and creative energy. Here's a practical example that illustrates this principle beautifully. Imagine you're facing a financial challenge. You have bills to pay and insufficient money to cover them. The destructive approach is to spend all your time worrying about the shortage, imagining the consequences of not paying, feeling stressed and anxious, and reinforcing the consciousness of lack. This mental state closes you off from creative solutions, opportunities, and the natural flow of supply. The empowered approach is to acknowledge the current situation without dwelling on it then. Deliberately shift your focus to abundance, to the many ways money can come to you, to your ability to create value and receive compensation, to the infinite supply available in the universe, to examples of times when resources appeared when you needed them. This mental state opens you up. It activates your creativity. It allows you to see opportunities you would otherwise miss. It aligns you with the flow of prosperity. The difference isn't just psychological, it's practical and tangible. Your mental state directly affects your energy, your actions, your decisions, your perceptions, and therefore your results. When you think from lack and fear, you make different choices than when you think from abundance and confidence. When you approach situations with a consciousness of limitation, you literally cannot see the same opportunities that become visible when you approach with a consciousness of possibility. Hamblin also addresses the critical importance of belief. He explains that belief is the activating force that allows your inner power to manifest in your outer experience. You can have all the power in the world available to you, but if you don't believe in it, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe things can change, that power remains dormant and unexpressed. Belief is what opens the channel, what gives permission for your inner power to flow into practical results. This is why Jesus repeatedly emphasized faith, why he said things like, "According to your faith, it is done unto you." He understood that belief is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between potential and manifestation, between the power within you and the results in your life. When you truly believe something is possible for you, when you have genuine faith in a positive outcome, you activate forces, both within yourself and in the universe around you, that work to bring that belief into reality. But here's what most people misunderstand about belief. It's not about blind optimism or wishful thinking. It's about aligning with truth. The deepest truth is that you are a powerful, creative being, connected to infinite intelligence and unlimited resources. When you believe in your ability to succeed, to create, to overcome challenges, to manifest your desires, you're not being naive or unrealistic. You're aligning with the fundamental truth of who you are and what you're capable of. The real delusion is believing you're powerless, limited, and at the mercy of circumstances beyond your control. Developing stronger belief is a gradual process for most people. If you've spent years or decades thinking of yourself as limited, you can't necessarily flip a switch and suddenly believe in unlimited possibilities. But you can take steps, you can build evidence, You can create small successes that strengthen your faith. You can choose slightly more empowering beliefs that feel accessible to you right now, then gradually expand those beliefs as you prove them to yourself through experience. For instance, if you're struggling financially and someone tells you to believe you're a millionaire, that might feel so disconnected from your current reality that you can't generate any genuine belief around it. But you might be able to believe that you can earn an extra $100 this week, or that you have the ability to create value for others, or that you've overcome financial challenges before and can do so again. These believable thoughts create momentum. They generate small successes, and those successes build your confidence and expand what you're capable of believing. Hamblin emphasizes that worry is one of the greatest enemies of your inner power. Worry is essentially negative goal setting. It's using your powerful imagination to create vivid mental pictures of what you don't want to happen. And because your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between a real experience and a vividly imagined one, worry programs your subconscious for failure, limitation, and negative outcomes. It's like praying for what you fear, investing your creative energy in manifesting your nightmares rather than your dreams. The antidote to worry is not just trying to stop worrying, because that often just makes you worry about worrying. The antidote is to redirect that same imaginative power toward positive outcomes. Take all that energy you've been investing in worst-case scenarios and invest it instead in best-case scenarios. Use your powerful imagination to create detailed, vivid, emotionally engaging mental movies of things working out beautifully, of yourself succeeding, of solutions appearing, of your life unfolding in wonderful ways. This isn't just feel-good fantasy, it's practical mental training that programs your subconscious mind for success rather than failure. Your subconscious mind is the powerhouse that controls most of your behavior, your habits, your automatic responses, your perceptions. When you program it with images of success, confidence, and positive outcomes, it works automatically to guide you toward those results. It helps you recognize opportunities. It gives you courage to take appropriate action. It organizes your energies and capabilities in service of your goals. Another crucial teaching from Hamblin concerns the power of words. Your words are not just sounds or symbols, they're vibrations of energy that have creative power. The words you speak, especially the words you speak about yourself and your life, shape your reality. When you constantly say things like, "I can't afford that," "I'm not smart enough," "I always struggle with this," "I'm just unlucky," "Nothing ever works out for me," you're using the creative power of your words to reinforce and manifest those exact limitations. Conversely, when you speak words of power, possibility, confidence, and expectancy, you activate different forces. When you say, "I'm capable of learning this," "I'm attracting opportunities," "Things are working out for me," "I'm becoming more successful every day," "I have everything I need within me," you're using your words as tools of creation, as declarations that shape your future reality. This isn't about lying to yourself or denying current facts. It's about speaking to your potential rather than your limitations, to what you're becoming rather than what you've been. Hamblin teaches that you should speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you're encouraging and supporting, not the way a harsh critic would speak. Most people have a harsh inner critic that constantly judges, condemns, and diminishes them. This voice is not your friend. It's not protecting you. It's not helping you improve. It's simply programming you for failure and unhappiness. You need to consciously replace that critical voice with a supportive, encouraging voice that believes in you and sees your potential. The principle of persistence is another vital element Hamblin emphasizes. Accessing and utilizing your inner power isn't usually a one-time event. It's a practice, a habit, a way of life that you cultivate over time. You don't just think positive thoughts once and expect your entire life to transform overnight. You consistently choose empowering thoughts, day after day, week after week, until they become your natural mental habit. You persistently focus on your goals and desires, not giving up when results don't appear immediately. Many people try these principles for a few days or weeks, and when they don't see dramatic results, instantly, they conclude that the principles don't work and return to their old patterns. But this is like planting seeds and then digging them up after 3 days because you don't see a plant yet. Growth takes time. Manifestation requires consistency. Transformation happens gradually as you maintain your new mental patterns and allow them to sink deeply into your subconscious mind and express themselves in your outer circumstances. Hamblin encourages you to think of developing your inner power like building physical strength. If you go to the gym once and lift weights for an hour, you won't leave with massive muscles. But if you go consistently, week after week, month after month, gradually, increasing the challenge, your body inevitably transforms. Mental and spiritual development works the same way. Each time you choose an empowering thought over a limiting one, you're building mental muscle. Each time you maintain a positive focus despite challenges, you're strengthening your inner power. Each time you act from faith rather than fear, you're reinforcing your new way of being. One of the profound insights Hamblin shares is about the relationship between your inner state and your outer circumstances. He explains that you cannot permanently change your outer world without changing your inner world first. You might temporarily manipulate circumstances through force or effort, but unless your consciousness changes, the old conditions will inevitably reassert themselves. This is why lottery winners often end up broke again, why people who lose weight often gain it back, why those who achieve success through sheer grinding effort often lose it or find it unsatisfying. True, lasting change happens from the inside out. When you change your consciousness, when you genuinely shift your beliefs, thoughts, and mental patterns, your outer circumstances must eventually conform to your new inner state. This is law. It's not a maybe or a sometimes. It's a fundamental principle of how reality works. Your external life is always a reflection of your internal life, with a time lag that varies depending on various factors, but the principle is absolute. This understanding should bring you tremendous hope and empowerment. It means that no matter what your current circumstances are, no matter how limited or challenging your external situation may appear, you have the power to change it by changing yourself. You're not a victim of circumstances, you're a creator of circumstances. Your current reality is the result of your past thinking, and your future reality will be the result of your current thinking. So, if you want a different future, you must think differently now. Hamblin also addresses the importance of purpose and having clear goals. Your inner power needs direction to be most effective. It's like having a powerful engine but no steering wheel. You have energy but no clear destination. When you have a definite purpose, when you know what you want to create, experience, or become, you give your inner power a channel through which to express itself. Your goals act like a magnet, organizing all your mental, emotional, and physical energies toward their achievement. But it's crucial that your goals come from your authentic desires, not from what others expect of you or what society says you should want. Your inner power is most strongly activated when you're pursuing what genuinely matters to you, what excites you, what aligns with your values and passions. When you're trying to achieve goals that don't really resonate with you, you're working against yourself. Part of you is pushing forward while another part is holding back, creating internal conflict and limited results. Take time to get clear on what you truly want, not what you think you should want, not what would impress others, but what genuinely calls to your heart and soul. What would make you excited to get up in the morning? What would give you a sense of meaning and fulfillment? What contribution do you want to make? What experiences do you want to have? What kind of person do you want to become? These questions help you connect with your authentic desires, and when you're clear on these, your inner power has a clear path to follow. Another beautiful principle Hamblin teaches is about giving and receiving. He explains that the universe operates on a principle of circulation. Energy must flow. Giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin. You cannot receive without giving, and you cannot truly give without receiving. When you hoard, when you operate from a consciousness of scarcity, when you're unwilling to share or give, you actually block the flow of good into your life. You create stagnation. You cut yourself off from the natural circulation of abundance. Conversely, when you give freely, when you share generously, when you contribute value to others' lives, you activate the law of circulation in your favor. You send a message to your subconscious mind and to the universe that you trust in abundance, that you believe there's more where that came from, that you're not operating from lack. And this consciousness of abundance attracts more abundance to you. It's not that giving somehow magically forces the universe to give back to you. It is that giving keeps you aligned with the flowing, abundant nature of life itself. This doesn't mean giving beyond your means or allowing yourself to be exploited. It means being generous within your capacity, sharing your time, talents, knowledge, and resources in ways that feel good and authentic to you. It means not clutching fearfully to what you have, but trusting that as you give, you create space for more to come to you. It means understanding that the more you circulate good in the world, the more good circulates through your life. Hamblin emphasizes the importance of gratitude as a powerful amplifier of your inner power. Gratitude is not just polite acknowledgement or social courtesy. It's a magnetic force that attracts more of what you appreciate. When you focus on what you're grateful for, when you genuinely appreciate the good in your life, you create a positive emotional state that opens you to receive more good. Gratitude tells your subconscious mind, this is what I want more of. This is what I value. This is what I appreciate. And your subconscious works to bring you more experiences that match that vibration. Moreover, gratitude keeps you present and aware of the abundance that already exists in your life. Even in challenging circumstances, there is always something to appreciate: air to breathe, eyes to see, lessons being learned, opportunities for growth, people who care about you, beauty in nature, moments of peace. When you train yourself to notice and appreciate these things, you shift from a consciousness of lack to a consciousness of abundance, and that shift changes everything. Many people postpone gratitude, thinking they'll be grateful when things get better, when they achieve their goals, when circumstances change. But this is backwards. Gratitude is not a response to getting what you want. It's a practice that helps you get what you want. Gratitude is cause, not effect. When you cultivate appreciation now for what you have and who you are, right now, you activate the forces that bring more to appreciate. The concept of surrender is another nuanced teaching in Hamblin's work. This isn't surrender in the sense of giving up or accepting defeat. It's surrender in the sense of releasing your tight grip on how things should unfold, releasing your need to control every detail, releasing your resistance to the natural flow of life. Many people exhaust themselves trying to force things to happen through sheer willpower, trying to manipulate and control circumstances, trying to make things unfold according to their exact specifications. But there's a more powerful approach. It's to clarify your desires, align your consciousness with those desires, take inspired action, and then trust the process. It's to do your part and allow the universe to do its part. It's to plant the seeds and tend the garden, but not to try to force the seeds to grow faster, or dictate exactly how the plant should develop. There's an intelligence in life that's far greater than your conscious mind, and when you learn to cooperate with it rather than fight it, life becomes much easier and more miraculous. This doesn't mean becoming passive or fatalistic. It means combining clear intention with relaxed allowing, focused effort with trust, planning with flexibility. It means doing what you can do while releasing attachment to specific timelines or exact forms. It means being clear about what you want while being open to receiving it in unexpected ways, often in forms that are even better than you imagined. Hamblin teaches that one of the greatest blocks to experiencing your inner power is the habit of comparing yourself to others. When you measure your progress, your worth, or your success against other people's apparent achievements, you put yourself in a losing game. There will always be someone who appears to be further ahead, more talented, more fortunate, more successful. This comparison generates feelings of inadequacy, envy, and discouragement, all of which diminish your sense of personal power. The truth is, you're on your own unique journey. Your path is different from everyone else's because you are different from everyone else. You have unique gifts, unique timing, unique lessons to learn, unique contributions to make. Comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20 makes no sense. The only meaningful comparison is between who you are today and who you were yesterday. The only important question is, am I growing? Am I progressing? Am I moving in the direction of my goals and values? When you free yourself from the burden of comparison, you free tremendous energy that was being wasted on envy, competition, and self-doubt. You can appreciate others' success without feeling diminished by it. You can celebrate others' achievements while still honoring your own progress. You can learn from others without feeling less than them. This shift allows you to focus your energy where it matters, on your own development, your own goals, your own unique expression of the power within you. The principle of mental equivalence is a powerful concept Hamblin explores. This principle states that you can only manifest in your outer world what you have first created as a mental equivalent in your inner world. In other words, if you want to experience something in your physical reality, you must first be able to hold it clearly and confidently in your mental reality. You must be able to imagine it, believe in it, feel comfortable with the idea of having it, and see yourself as the kind of person who would have or experience this thing. This is why some people struggle to achieve certain goals even when they work hard toward them. They don't have a mental equivalent for success in that area. Deep down, they can't really picture themselves achieving it. They don't believe they're the kind of person who has that experience. They feel uncomfortable imagining themselves at that level. This lack of mental equivalent acts like an invisible ceiling. No matter how hard they try, they keep hitting that ceiling because their consciousness hasn't expanded to accommodate the success they consciously desire. The solution is to deliberately build mental equivalents for what you want to experience. Spend time visualizing in detail what it would be like to have achieved your goal. Imagine how it would feel, what you would see, what others might say, how your daily life would be different. Make these mental images as vivid, detailed, and emotionally engaging as possible. Do this regularly until your mind becomes comfortable with these images, until they start to feel natural and believable, until you can imagine yourself in those scenarios without discomfort or disbelief. Hamblin discusses the importance of patience in allowing your inner power to work. We live in an instant gratification culture where we expect immediate results, but profound transformation typically happens gradually. When you plant a seed, you don't see dramatic changes the next day, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Below the surface, roots are forming, energy is gathering, growth is occurring. Then, suddenly, a sprout breaks through the soil, and what seemed like nothing was happening was actually necessary preparation for visible manifestation. Your mental and spiritual work operates similarly. When you shift your thinking, when you align with your inner power, things begin changing immediately in the invisible realm. But it takes time for those changes to work their way into visible manifestation. During this time, you must maintain your faith, continue your practices, keep your focus on your desires, and trust the process. This is where many people fail. They give up right before the breakthrough. They abandon their new patterns just before they would have produced results. Think of it like heating water. From room temperature to 99 degrees, the water looks exactly the same, no visible change despite significant temperature increase. But at 100 degrees, suddenly everything changes. The water transforms into steam. That 1 degree makes all the difference. In your life, you might be at 99 degrees, seemingly seeing no results from your efforts, but you could be just 1 degree away from a dramatic breakthrough. Patience, persistence, and faith are what carry you through that final degree. The power of decision is another crucial element Hamblin emphasizes. Many people drift through life without making real decisions. They remain in a state of maybe, perhaps someday, hoping things will work out, but not committing fully to any direction. This ambivalence dissipates your power. It's like trying to drive a car with 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the brake. You waste enormous energy without making real progress. When you make a clear, definite decision, when you commit fully to a path or goal, you activate tremendous power. Decision cuts off other options. It focuses all your energy in one direction. It sends a clear message to your subconscious mind and to the universe about what you're creating. The word decide comes from Latin roots meaning to cut off. When you decide, you cut off other possibilities and fully invest yourself in your chosen direction. This concentration of focus and energy produces results that scattered effort never can. Moreover, the universe responds to decisiveness. When you're wishy-washy, unclear, or ambivalent, life reflects that back to you with unclear, ambiguous results. When you're clear, committed, and decisive, life meets you with corresponding clarity and support. Opportunities appear, resources show up, people enter your life at just the right time. Circumstances align in your favor, not because of magic, but because your clarity and commitment allow you to recognize and act on these things that were always there but invisible to your unfocused awareness. Hamblin teaches about the importance of continuous self-improvement and growth. Your inner power is not a fixed quantity. It expands as you grow. It increases as you develop yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every fear you face, every limiting belief you dissolve, every act of kindness you express, every choice you make to think more positively, increases your capacity to channel and express your inner power. This means you should see yourself as a work in progress, always learning, always growing, always evolving, not from a place of inadequacy or self-criticism, but from a place of excitement about your potential. You're like a sculptor revealing a beautiful statue that already exists within the marble, chip by chip, choice by choice. You're revealing the magnificent being you truly are beneath the layers of conditioning, fear, and limitation. Invest in yourself. It's the best investment you can make. Read books that inspire and educate you. Take courses that develop your skills and knowledge. Spend time with people who elevate your thinking and encourage your growth. Engage in practices that strengthen your mind and spirit. Every bit of energy you invest in your own development pays dividends throughout your entire life. Another profound teaching concerns overcoming obstacles and challenges. Hamblin explains that obstacles are not evidence that you're on the wrong path or that your goals are impossible. They're actually opportunities to strengthen your inner power. Every challenge you face and overcome makes you stronger, more capable, more confident. Obstacles are like weights in a gym. They provide the resistance necessary for growth. When you encounter difficulties, instead of seeing them as proof that things aren't working or that you should give up, see them as tests of your commitment, as opportunities to prove your faith to yourself, as chances to discover just how resourceful and powerful you are. Change your relationship with challenges from adversarial to appreciative. Obstacles aren't enemies trying to stop you, they're teachers trying to strengthen you. This perspective shift transforms your entire experience of difficulty. Instead of feeling defeated or victimized when challenges arise, you can feel energized and empowered, knowing that you're being given exactly what you need to grow into the person capable of achieving your goals. The universe isn't punishing you with obstacles, it's preparing you for success. By developing the qualities and capabilities you'll need to handle that success. Hamblin emphasizes the critical importance of living in the present moment. So much inner power is wasted when your mind is scattered across time, dwelling in past regrets or future anxieties. When you're mentally replaying past mistakes or worrying about future scenarios, you're not present, you're not here now, and therefore you cannot access your power fully. Power exists in the present moment. That's the only place you can think, decide, or act. The practice of presence, of bringing your attention fully to the current moment, concentrates your energy and awareness. It allows you to respond to life as it actually is, rather than as you fear it might be or wish it had been. It helps you notice opportunities, insights, and guidance that you miss when your mind is elsewhere. It allows you to enjoy your life as it unfolds, rather than constantly postponing happiness until some future achievement or circumstance. Cultivating presence doesn't mean ignoring the past or not planning for the future. It means doing your reflecting and planning mindfully in the present moment, rather than being lost in unconscious mental time travel. It means learning from the past without being imprisoned by it, and preparing for the future without being anxious about it. When you master the art of presence, you discover that the present moment contains everything you need. It's where your power is, where life is, where peace is. The concept of mental diet is something Hamblin emphasizes strongly. Just as you're careful about what you eat physically, you should be even more careful about what you consume mentally. Everything you read, watch, listen to, and expose yourself to affects your consciousness. If you're constantly consuming negative news, violent entertainment, gossip, complaint, criticism, and fear-based content, you're programming your mind for negativity, anxiety, and limitation, regardless of how much positive thinking you try to do afterward. You need to be selective about your mental diet. Consciously choose content that uplifts, inspires, educates, and empowers you. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or being uninformed. It means being strategic about what you allow into your consciousness. You can stay informed about important events without marinating in endless negative news. You can be entertained without filling your mind with violence and dysfunction. You can connect with others without participating in gossip and complaint. The company you keep is part of your mental diet too. People influence you more than you might realize. Their attitudes, beliefs, and energy affect your own. If you're surrounded by negative, complaining, limited thinking people, it's difficult to maintain a positive, expansive consciousness. Their energy pulls you down. Conversely, when you spend time with positive, growth-oriented, uplifting people, they help raise your energy and expand your thinking. This doesn't mean abandoning friends who are going through difficult times or only associating with successful people. It means being conscious of the overall energy of your relationships and making sure you have enough positive influences to counterbalance any negative ones. It means limiting time with energy vampires, people who consistently drain you, and increasing time with energy generators, people who consistently uplift you. Hamblin teaches that forgiveness is essential for accessing your full inner power. Holding grudges, harboring resentment, clinging to anger toward those who have hurt you, all of this binds tremendous amounts of your energy in the past. It's like trying to drive forward while dragging heavy chains behind you. Forgiveness doesn't mean what was done to you was okay. It doesn't mean you must trust that person again or allow them back into your life. It means you're releasing the emotional weight of the past so you can move forward freely. Unforgiveness hurts you far more than it hurts the other person. They might be completely unaffected by your resentment, living their life while you carry the burden of anger and hurt. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's choosing freedom over imprisonment, peace over pain, forward movement over being stuck. When you forgive, you reclaim the power you've been giving to the past and the person who hurt you, and you redirect that power toward creating your future. Forgiving yourself is equally important. Many people carry tremendous guilt and shame about past mistakes, decisions, or actions. This self-condemnation blocks your inner power because it reinforces a negative self-image. It keeps you identified with your worst moments rather than your highest potential. You must understand that you did the best you could with the awareness and resources you had at the time. You've learned, you've grown, you're not that person anymore. Release yourself from the prison of self-judgment and give yourself permission to move forward. The principle of service is another beautiful aspect of Hamblin's teachings. Your inner power is magnified when you use it not just for personal gain, but in service to something larger than yourself. When your goals include contributing to others' well-being, making a positive difference in the world, leaving things better than you found them, you tap into a deeper source of motivation and energy than personal ambition alone can provide. When you're working solely for your own benefit, you might achieve success, but there's often a sense of emptiness or meaninglessness that accompanies purely self-focused achievement. But when you're pursuing goals that benefit others, when your success contributes to the greater good, when you're using your gifts and talents to make the world better in some way, you feel a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. This sense of purpose energizes you, sustains you through challenges, and connects you to a larger flow of universal support. Service doesn't mean sacrificing yourself or neglecting your own needs. It means recognizing that your individual good and the collective good are not separate, they're interconnected. When you help others thrive, you thrive. When you contribute to lifting others up, you rise. When you add value to the world, value flows back to you. This is not just karmic philosophy, it's practical reality people naturally want to support, reward, and cooperate with those who are genuinely trying to help and contribute. Think about how you can use your unique talents, passions, and abilities in service to others. What problems can you help solve? What needs can you meet? What value can you create? What difference can you make in your immediate circle or the wider world? When you answer these questions and align your goals with contribution, your inner power flows more freely and forcefully because you're working with the fundamental impulse of life itself, which is to create, expand, and express itself through giving. Hamblin addresses the crucial topic of health and vitality as expressions of your inner power. Your physical body is the instrument through which your inner power manifests in the physical world. When your body is weak, exhausted, or diseased, your ability to express your power is diminished. This doesn't mean you can't access spiritual power. When physically unwell, many people have done remarkable things despite physical limitations, but it means that maintaining your physical health supports the full expression of your capabilities. Your thoughts and emotions directly affect your physical health. chronic stress, persistent negative thinking, harbored resentment, constant worry, all of these mental and emotional states produce chemical changes in your body that undermine health. Conversely, positive emotions, peaceful thoughts, gratitude, love, and joy produce chemistry that supports health, vitality, and well-being. The mind-body connection is not metaphorical, it's literal and measurable. This means that as you work with your inner power, as you cultivate more positive thought patterns and emotional states, you're not just improving your outer circumstances, you're also improving your physical health. And as you care for your physical body through proper nutrition, adequate rest, regular movement, and stress management, you're creating a stronger foundation for your inner power to work through. Mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health are all interconnected aspects of one unified whole. The importance of solitude and quiet reflection is another valuable teaching. In our noisy, busy, constantly connected world, most people rarely experience genuine silence or solitude. Their minds are constantly bombarded with external stimulation, information, demands, and distractions. But it's in the quiet moments, in the stillness, that you can hear the voice of your inner wisdom, connect with your deepest knowing, and access the profound guidance that's always available within you. Make time regularly for silence, for meditation, for contemplation, for just being rather than constantly doing. This doesn't require hours of practice or special techniques. Even a few minutes of quiet presence each day can make a profound difference. In these moments, you're not trying to achieve anything or go anywhere. You're simply allowing yourself to be, to rest in your own awareness, to connect with the deeper dimensions of your being that get drowned out in the noise of everyday life. In this stillness, insights arise, clarity emerges, creative solutions appear, inner guidance becomes audible. You realize that beneath all the mental chatter and emotional turbulence, there's a calm, wise, powerful presence that is your true self. This is the source of your inner power, not your surface personality with all its fears and doubts, but this deeper self that knows, that sees clearly, that understands the bigger picture. Hamblin teaches about the power of mental imagery and visualization. Your subconscious mind thinks in pictures, not in words. When you create clear, detailed, emotionally engaging mental images of your desired outcomes, you're communicating directly with the part of your mind that controls most of your behavior, perceptions, and results. Visualization is not just daydreaming or wishful thinking, it's a powerful programming technique that aligns your entire being with your goals. The key to effective visualization is to make your mental images as real and detailed as possible. Don't just vaguely think about what you want. Create a complete sensory experience in your imagination. See the colors, shapes, and details. Hear the sounds. Feel the textures and sensations. Smell the scents. Taste the flavors. Most importantly, feel the emotions you would feel if this were already your reality. Joy, satisfaction, pride, gratitude, peace, excitement. When you engage all your senses and emotions in your visualization, your subconscious mind accepts these images as real experiences. And it begins organizing your thoughts, perceptions, and actions to make the outer reality match the inner reality you've created. You start noticing opportunities you would have missed. You find yourself naturally making choices that align with your vision. You develop the confidence and courage to take actions toward your goals. The inner image draws the outer manifestation toward you like a magnet. The principle of rhythm and cycles is something Hamblin touches upon that's worth understanding deeply. Life moves in rhythms, in cycles of activity and rest, expansion and contraction, outward expression and inward reflection. You cannot be in peak performance mode constantly. Just as day must give way to night, there are natural periods of rest, consolidation, and preparation that are essential for sustained growth and achievement. Many people exhaust themselves trying to push forward relentlessly, viewing rest as weakness or wasted time, viewing periods of slower progress as failure. But these rhythms are natural and necessary. The farmer doesn't plant seeds and then stand in the field demanding they grow immediately. He plants, tends, and waits, trusting the natural rhythm of growth. Winter, when everything appears dormant, is actually a crucial time of underground preparation for spring's abundance. Honor these rhythms in your own life and work. There will be times of intense activity, rapid progress, and visible results. There will also be times of quieter work, slower pace, and less obvious progress. Both are valuable. Both are necessary. Both serve the overall arc of your development. When you're in a slower phase, don't panic or force things. Use the time to rest, reflect, prepare, and build the inner foundation for the next period of expansion. The concept of divine timing is related to this understanding of cycles. Sometimes you're ready for something before it's ready for you, or something is ready before you're truly prepared to receive it. There's a coordination of factors, circumstances, people, and readiness that must align for manifestation to occur optimally. When you trust divine timing, when you continue your inner work and outer action while allowing things to unfold in their perfect timing, you save yourself tremendous frustration and anxiety. This doesn't mean being passive or using divine timing as an excuse for procrastination. It means doing your part with full commitment while releasing attachment to specific schedules. It means trusting that when you're truly ready and when all factors are optimally aligned, things will manifest, and often the timing will be better than what you would have chosen. Many people can look back and see that what felt like delays or denials at the time were actually perfect timing that saved them from problems or led to better outcomes. Hamblin emphasizes the importance of maintaining harmony in your relationships as an expression of your inner power. Conflict, discord, and dysfunctional relationships drain tremendous energy and create barriers to your success and happiness. When you're constantly dealing with interpersonal drama, trying to defend yourself, engaging in power struggles, or carrying resentment toward others, you have little energy left for creative endeavors and positive manifestation. Cultivating harmonious relationships doesn't mean avoiding conflict entirely or suppressing your authentic needs and feelings. It means learning to communicate clearly and respectfully, to set healthy boundaries, to address issues directly rather than letting them fester, to seek understanding rather than being right, to forgive readily, and to surround yourself with people who genuinely wish you well. These relationship skills are expressions of inner power. They reflect emotional maturity, self-awareness, and the ability to create win-win outcomes rather than win-lose dynamics. Notice how much lighter and more energized you feel when your relationships are harmonious, when there is no one you're avoiding, no conversations you're dreading, no conflicts you're worried about. This freedom allows your creative energy to flow toward your goals and dreams rather than being bound up in interpersonal stress. It creates a supportive environment where you can flourish rather than a hostile one, where you must constantly defend and protect yourself. The teaching about mastering your reactions is profoundly practical and empowering. Hamblin explains that while you cannot always control what happens to you, you always have the power to choose how you respond. This choice, this gap between stimulus and response, is where your freedom and power reside. Most people react automatically to circumstances, allowing external events to dictate their internal state. But when you develop the ability to pause and choose your response, you reclaim your power. This practice requires self-awareness and self-regulation. When something happens that would typically trigger a negative reaction from you, anger, fear, frustration, you practice noticing the trigger, feeling the initial surge of emotion, but not immediately acting on it. You create a moment of space where you can ask yourself, how do I want to respond to this? What response would serve my highest good? What reaction would I be proud of later? This conscious choice transforms you from a reactor to a creator. Over time, this practice literally rewires your brain, creating new neural pathways that support more empowered responses. Situations that once would have thrown you into emotional turmoil lose their power over you. You develop what might be called emotional resilience or spiritual maturity, the ability to remain centered and empowered regardless of external circumstances. This is true strength, not the absence of challenges, but the ability to meet them from your power rather than your programming. Hamblin discusses the principle of mental equivalence in relationships and success. Whatever you want to experience in your life, you must first become the mental equivalent of that experience. If you want to attract love, you must cultivate love within yourself and express it toward others. If you want to experience prosperity, you must develop a prosperous consciousness. If you want respect, you must respect yourself and others. You cannot attract what you're not in vibrational alignment with. This is why focusing solely on getting, having, or receiving doesn't work well. If your focus is, I need more money, I need a relationship, I need success, you're operating from lack, and lack consciousness attracts more lack. But when you shift to embodying the qualities and consciousness you wish to experience, when you become loving, abundant, successful in your inner world first, the outer world inevitably reflects that back to you. This is not about pretending or faking it until you make it, though there can be value in acting as if. It's about genuinely cultivating the inner qualities, beliefs, and consciousness that match what you desire to experience. When you are love, you attract love. When you are prosperity consciousness, you attract prosperity. When you are success embodied, you attract success. The inner state is primary, the outer manifestation is secondary and inevitable. The power of affirmations, when used correctly, is another tool Hamblin explores. Affirmations are not about lying to yourself or repeating empty phrases you don't believe. Effective affirmations are statements that help you align with truth, that remind you of your inner power, that redirect your thinking toward possibility rather than limitation. They work best when they're believable, emotionally engaging, and repeated consistently until they become automatic thoughts. Instead of affirming, I am a millionaire, when you're struggling to pay bills and that statement feels absurd to you, you might affirm, I am discovering new ways to create value and increase my income, or I am learning to think and act like a prosperous person, or money flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. These statements feel more accessible, more believable, and they guide your consciousness in an empowering direction without triggering resistance or disbelief. The key is to use affirmations that resonate with you, that feel empowering rather than hollow, and to repeat them with attention and feeling rather than mechanically. Say them when you first wake up and before you sleep, when your subconscious mind is most receptive. Say them when you notice yourself thinking limiting thoughts, as a way to consciously redirect your mental patterns. Over time, these affirmative statements become embedded in your consciousness and begin operating automatically. Hamblin addresses the importance of taking inspired action. All the mental work, visualization, affirmation, and positive thinking in the world must be coupled with appropriate action. You cannot simply sit and think positively while expecting everything to manifest magically. Your thoughts and consciousness create the blueprint, attract opportunities, and prepare you internally. But you must also take concrete steps in the physical world to bring your desires into manifestation. The key word here is inspired. This isn't about forcing action, working yourself into exhaustion, or taking action from anxiety and fear. Inspired action feels energizing rather than depleting. It flows naturally from your clarity and alignment. It's action you're excited to take, rather than action you're forcing yourself to take. When you're truly aligned with your inner power and your goals, the right actions become obvious. Opportunities present themselves, and moving forward feels natural rather than difficult. Trust your intuition about what actions to take and when. Sometimes the inspired action is bold and dramatic, making a big change or taking a significant risk. Sometimes it's small and simple, making a phone call, sending an email, having a conversation. Sometimes the inspired action is to wait, to prepare, to learn more before moving. There's no one-size-fits-all prescription. You must develop the ability to sense what's right for you in each moment, and that sensing comes from connecting with your inner wisdom, rather than following rigid rules or other people's formulas. The concept of mental atmosphere is something Hamblin helps us understand. You create an invisible but very real mental atmosphere around yourself through your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and emotional states. This atmosphere affects how others perceive and respond to you, what opportunities come your way, what you notice and attract. When your mental atmosphere is negative, fearful, or limited, you create an energy that repels opportunities and positive connections. When your mental atmosphere is positive, confident, and expansive, you create an energy that attracts support and favorable circumstances. You've experienced this with other people. You've met someone who seems to carry a dark cloud around them. Everything about their energy feels heavy and negative, and you instinctively want to move away. You've also met people who seem to radiate light and positivity. Their energy is uplifting and attractive, and you instinctively want to be near them and help them. You're creating one of these two atmospheres, or something in between, with your habitual mental and emotional patterns. The good news is, you can consciously cultivate a positive mental atmosphere. When you consistently practice positive thinking, gratitude, love, confidence, and faith, you create an atmosphere that draws people, opportunities, and circumstances to you. You become someone others want to help, support, and collaborate with. You notice opportunities you would have missed from a different mental state. Your improved atmosphere improves everything in your life because everything in your life is filtered through and affected by the consciousness you're operating from. Hamblin teaches about the importance of flexibility and adaptability. While having clear goals and staying committed to your vision is important, being rigidly attached to one specific path or method is limiting. Life is creative and abundant. There are countless ways to achieve any goal, countless paths to any destination. When you're flexible, when you remain open to unexpected routes and opportunities, when you can adapt your methods while maintaining your vision, you work with life's creative intelligence rather than against it. Many people give up on their dreams not because the dreams were impossible, but because the specific path they chose didn't work out, and they couldn't imagine another way. They had one picture of how things should unfold, and when reality didn't match that picture, they concluded their dream was unrealistic. But the goal might be perfectly achievable through a different path, at a different time, or in a different form than originally imagined. Stay flexible, stay open, stay creative. If one approach isn't working, try another. If one door closes, look for the window that's opening. If plan A doesn't work out, have faith that plan B might be even better. The universe is infinitely creative and resourceful, and when you're aligned with your inner power, that creativity and resourcefulness flow through you, showing you ways forward that you never could have planned or predicted with your limited conscious mind. The principle of as within, so without summarizes much of what Hamblin teaches. Your outer world is a mirror of your inner world. Your circumstances reflect your consciousness. Your relationships reflect your relationship with yourself. Your financial situation reflects your prosperity consciousness. Your health reflects your mental and emotional states. This is not judgment. It's simply how the creative process works. The invisible creates. The visible, the internal, creates the external. Consciousness creates circumstance. This principle is empowering because it means you're never truly stuck. No matter what your outer circumstances look like right now, you can change them by changing your inner world. You don't have to wait for external permission, perfect conditions, or someone else to change. You can begin right now, right where you are, with whatever you have, by changing your thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and consciousness. As your inner world shifts, your outer world must inevitably follow. This also means you can use your outer world as feedback about your inner world. If you're consistently experiencing certain negative patterns, relationship problems, financial struggles, health issues, you can ask yourself what beliefs, thoughts, or emotional patterns might be creating these experiences. This isn't about blaming yourself or feeling guilty. It's about taking responsibility for your creative power and using that power consciously to create different results. Hamblin emphasizes the importance of living authentically, being true to yourself, rather than conforming to others' expectations or society's definitions of success. When you're trying to be someone you're not, when you're pursuing goals that don't actually resonate with you, when you're living according to should rather than genuine desire, you work against yourself. Part of you is pushing forward, while another part is resisting, creating internal conflict and limited results. Your inner power flows most strongly when you're aligned with your authentic self, when you're pursuing goals that genuinely matter to you, when you're expressing your unique gifts and talents, when you are living according to your own values rather than borrowed ones. This authenticity creates internal coherence. All parts of you are moving in the same direction. And that unified focus creates tremendous momentum and manifestation power. Discovering and honoring your authentic self requires honest self-reflection. What truly matters to you, not what you think should matter? What activities make you lose track of time because you're so engaged? What would you do even if no one paid you or praised you for it? What values do you hold most dear? What kind of person do you want to be, regardless of external achievements? These questions help you clarify your authentic desires and values, and living in alignment with those creates a sense of meaning, fulfillment, and power that nothing else can provide. The teaching about universal mind or divine intelligence is central to Hamblin's philosophy. He explains that you're not a separate, isolated individual struggling alone in an indifferent universe. You're connected to and part of an infinite intelligence, a creative power. That's the source of all life, all creation, all possibilities. This intelligence is not distant or separate from you. It's the very ground of your being, the consciousness in which you exist, the power that animates you. When you understand this connection, when you realize you can tap into infinite wisdom and creativity, when you learn to align yourself with this greater intelligence rather than relying solely on your limited personal mind, everything changes. You're no longer dependent only on what you know, what you've learned, what you can figure out with your conscious mind. You have access to insights, guidance, creative solutions, and possibilities that transcend your personal knowledge and experience. This connection is accessed through stillness, through meditation, through prayer, through openness and receptivity, through trusting that answers will come, through believing in guidance beyond your rational understanding. when you quiet your busy mind, when you open yourself to wisdom greater than your own, when you ask questions and then listen quietly for answers, you begin receiving guidance, insights arrive, creative solutions appear. You know what to do even when you don't know how you know. Hamblin teaches that your predominant mental attitude determines your life experience more than any other single factor. Your habitual way of thinking about yourself, other people, circumstances, possibilities, this mental attitude colors everything. It filters every experience. It influences every perception. It affects every outcome. Two people in identical circumstances can have completely different experiences based solely on their mental attitudes. One person approaches life with optimism, confidence, expectancy of good, faith in themselves and life. Another approaches with pessimism, doubt, expectancy of problems, distrust. The first person notices opportunities, meets helpful people, finds solutions, experiences synchronicities, feels energized. The second person overlooks opportunities, meets obstacles, finds problems, experiences setbacks, feels drained. Same external world, completely different experiences because of mental attitude. Therefore, cultivating a positive mental attitude isn't just feel-good philosophy, it's practical power. When you habitually think positively, expect good outcomes, believe in possibilities, trust yourself and life, you literally create a different reality than if you habitually think negatively, expect problems, believe in limitations, distrust yourself and life. Your mental attitude is one of the most powerful forces shaping your life, experience, and you have the power to choose and cultivate that attitude. This doesn't mean denying problems or pretending challenges don't exist. It means choosing where to place your primary focus and energy. It means acknowledging challenges while focusing on solutions. It means seeing obstacles as temporary and surmountable rather than permanent and insurmountable. It means interpreting experiences through a lens of possibility rather than limitation. Small shifts in mental attitude create enormous shifts in life experience. The principle of investment versus expenditure of energy is something Hamblin helps us understand. You can approach life either spending your energy or investing it. When you spend energy, it's gone, used up, producing nothing lasting. When you invest energy, it returns to you multiplied, producing ongoing benefits. Worry, complaint, resentment, conflict, these spend energy without return. Learning, creating, building, serving, loving, these invest energy with compounding returns. Every choice you make is either an investment or expenditure of your precious life energy. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take is either building your future or depleting your resources. When you become conscious of this, you start making different choices. You invest more energy in activities that multiply your power, knowledge, skills, relationships, resources. You spend less energy on activities that drain you without return. This perspective helps you set priorities and make decisions. When facing options, ask yourself, is this an investment or expenditure of my energy? Will this choice build my future or just consume my present? Does this activity return energy to me or only take from me? These questions guide you toward wise choices that compound your power and resources over time rather than depleting them. Hamblin's teaching on the unlimited nature of supply is liberating. He explains that we live in an abundant universe with more than enough resources, opportunities, and good to go around. Scarcity is largely an illusion created by limited thinking and artificial restrictions. When you operate from a scarcity mindset, believing there's not enough, believing you must fight and compete for your share, believing someone else's gain is your loss, you create experience of lack in your life. But when you understand that abundance is the fundamental nature of reality, when you believe there's more than enough, when you trust in unlimited supply, when you celebrate others' success knowing it doesn't diminish your own possibilities, you open yourself to the flow of abundance. You notice opportunities everywhere. You receive inspired ideas. You attract resources and support. You experience synchronicities and fortunate coincidences. Not because the universe suddenly became abundant, but because your consciousness became aligned with the abundance that was always there. This shift from scarcity to abundance consciousness might be the single most powerful transformation you can make. It affects everything: how you think about money, opportunities, relationships, possibilities. It dissolves competition and comparison, replacing them with collaboration and appreciation. It eliminates the anxiety that comes from believing you must grab and hoard because there won't be enough. It creates a relaxed confidence that allows you to give freely and receive graciously, knowing the supply is unlimited. The importance of completion and follow-through is another practical teaching. Many people start projects enthusiastically but rarely finish them. They have great ideas but don't execute. They begin with excitement but lose momentum. This pattern of incomplete cycles drains power. Every unfinished project, every abandoned goal, every broken commitment sits in your consciousness, like an open loop, leaking energy and undermining your confidence in yourself. Building the habit of completion builds your power. When you finish what you start, when you follow through on commitments, when you see projects through to the end, you strengthen your self-trust and your sense of personal power. You prove to yourself that you can start something and complete it, that you can encounter obstacles and persist anyway, that your word to yourself matters. This self-trust is essential for taking on bigger challenges and pursuing larger goals. Start small if necessary, complete small things consistently to build the completion habit. Finish the book you're reading, complete the small home project, follow through on your promise to yourself or others, clean out that one drawer, send that email you've been putting off. Each completion, however small, adds to your sense of power and capability. Conversely, each incompletion, however justified, diminishes it slightly. Build momentum through consistent completion. Hamblin's teaching culminates in a beautiful understanding that the journey of discovering and using your inner power is a spiritual journey, not just a success strategy. It's about becoming who you truly are beneath all the conditioning, fear, and limitation. It's about expressing your unique gifts in service to something larger than yourself. It's about realizing your connection to the divine intelligence that created you and infused you with infinite potential. It's about living fully, loving freely, creating boldly, and contributing meaningfully. This isn't a destination you reach and then you're done. It's a continuous unfolding, a lifelong adventure of growth, discovery, expression, and contribution. There will always be deeper levels of power to access, greater capacities to develop, more meaningful ways to express and serve. The more you grow, the more you realize how much more is possible. But this isn't frustrating, it's exciting, because it means life never becomes boring or stale. There's always new territory to explore. You stand at the threshold of magnificent possibilities. Everything you've read here isn't just theory or philosophy, it's practical truth that you can apply starting right now, today, in this moment. You don't need to understand everything perfectly. You don't need to have perfect faith immediately. You simply need to begin, to take one small step in the direction of claiming your power, to make one choice differently, to think one thought more positively, to take one action from faith rather than fear. The power within you has been waiting your entire life for you to recognize it, claim it, and use it. It's infinitely patient, always available, never diminished by neglect. No matter how long you've lived without awareness of this power, no matter how many years you felt powerless or limited, in this moment you can begin anew. You can decide right now that everything changes from here forward. You can choose to think differently, believe differently, act differently, and as you do, your entire life experience will begin to shift and transform. Remember, you're not trying to become powerful, you already are powerful. You're simply removing the obstacles that have hidden your power from your awareness and prevented its full expression. Every limiting belief you dissolve, every fear you face, every new empowering thought you choose reveals more of the magnificent power that has always been within you. This is your true nature, unlimited creative potential, divine spark, infinite possibility. If you found value in this exploration of inner power, if something here resonated with your soul, if you feel inspired to begin your journey of discovering and expressing the power within you, I encourage you to share this message with others who might benefit from it. Like this content, subscribe to support the creation of more transformative material like this, and comment below with your insights, experiences, or questions. Together, we can create a community of empowered individuals who support each other's growth and celebrate each other's victories. Your transformation doesn't just affect you, it ripples out to everyone you encounter. As you become more empowered, you inspire others. As you express your gifts more fully, you give others permission to do the same. As you create the life you desire, you demonstrate what's possible. As you tap into your inner power, you illuminate the path for others to find theirs. This is how we change the world, not through massive collective action alone, but through individual transformation multiplied across millions of awakening souls. The journey begins now. The power is within you. The time is now. You have everything you need to create the life you've dreamed of, to become the person you're meant to be, to make the contribution you're here to make. No more waiting, no more excuses, no more looking outside yourself for what can only be found within. Step into your power. Claim your birthright. Begin your transformation today. Within you is the power to create, to heal, to achieve, to overcome, to transform, to contribute, to love, to inspire, to succeed, to fulfill your highest potential. Within you is everything you've been searching for. Within you is the answer to every question, the solution to every problem, the key to every locked door. Within you is the power. Now go forth and use it to create your masterpiece of a life. The world is waiting for what only you can bring. Your time is now.